town, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. What town called Bel Air? What town called Bel Air? What town called Bel Air? Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground as ever spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I begged and pleaded with her day after day, but she packed my suitcase and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I put my Walkman on and said I might as well kick it. First class, yo, it's bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass. This is what the people of Bel Air living like. This might be alright. Champagne glass, bring it on juice out of a champagne glass. A champagne glass. A champagne glass. A champagne glass, bring it on juice out of a champagne glass. A champagne glass. A champagne glass. A champagne glass. Go home to Bel Air.
Oh, hello. Welcome on back to the return of... sorry, the return of Lahi. Sorry, that's exactly what it was supposed to be. I had to turn that music off because there's probably going to be a lot of that coming. Hi, guys. Long time no see. How you been? I just finished eating some food, and I didn't bring my water down. I'm like, oh, the happy dance. Love that happy dance. It feels alien to me. But,
You suck, McBain!
or actually more appropriately, because I forgot I had this one. Yeah, I gotta get back to, I gotta get used to, yeah, I gotta get back to all of it again. Kirill, hi, buddy. Welcome on back to the island. We've shifted about a province over, roughly. You know, continental drift and all that. Also, hi Flawley, hi Sushi, hi Kirill. Only stick around for a few minutes though. Have to get up for work in 6 hours. Oof, dude. Okay, well, I appreciate you coming by to say hi, but that's far more important. Hopefully you can stick around for actual gameplay tomorrow. But whatever. I know that you got all of those wonky scheduling and whatnot sometimes. But still, thanks for coming by. It's good to see your username. One sec. Go figure. I'm also combating just a little tickle in the throat. But I've had a cold earlier on. And I'll get into that. I'll get into more of that later. But today, we're all just gonna sit here, chat away, catch up, see how things have gone. And also just work our way through technical difficulties. Because honestly, I know that as much of the things I have tried to re-establish, things are gonna go wonky. What I did successfully do, and remember to do, was that I attached the chatbot properly. Because remember, that's always a problem, right? So there's at least that. At least I got that going for me. I got my lights out. So, yeah. Problem is, though, the light fixtures that we picked, they don't take regular light bulbs. In other words, they're not going to take my color changing light bulbs. So I actually have turned it off. And if you could see in the new Stewie pupper cam over there, first of all, you can see a little bit of Stewie in there. Trying to figure out where he ends up going in this room, so the camera might move. But I've put a lamp there. It doesn't light up the room very well. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It lights up what it can for now. I have some different plans in mind at the moment. But I did get out my key lights, so that's also happening. The problem here is that this is so bright and the back is so dark, there's a lot of contrast going on. Big change of life finally happened ever since graduating. Really? Please go on. Do tell. Am intrigued. I may occasionally be muting the mic often because of the tickle in the throat. While Kirill types that out. Wow. I have moved province over. Well, maybe I should. Okay, what I do need to know right now is making sure that you guys can actually hear music. Like, it's not too low, really not too high. Maybe I could bring it a little bit up higher. Hello, Fantastic! It's fantastic to see you. The new stream looks more like an office. Yeah, that's true. Where I used to live, it was just a downstairs room with no actual door. But now I actually have a room. The one, I can try and control sound a little better. You can see I don't have sound foam up yet. I have sound foam up on where you guys can't see. Obviously, dude, new Tony who dis. Oh yeah, by the way, Sushi, the new hairdo, right? It's not that new. It's just an overcorrection to what I had earlier, really. Okay, I could already tell I am gonna have to drink some water soon. So at some point, I'm gonna have to take a break, and head on up, get some water. Stewie's gonna run out with me. I'll try to get him back in here, and so on. But right now, you can see Stewie over on the Stewie cam that away. Just a smidge of him. Camera, I tried to get as much area as possible. Sound foam upgrades. No, I've had this sound foam before. Actually, it was already up and everything. It's just I never put it up more, which I am gonna do with this room. Am I gonna put it on every wall? Honestly, I don't know. I'm waiting to see what I end up doing with my artwork first before I really go ham with the sound foam. But you can probably hear that it just isn't the same as before. So it's a work in progress, obviously. Oh, catch up on chat here. So cute. You have an online friend group now, doing role plays, D&D, and filling the hole left 5 years ago. Oh, nice! You've been playing some online D&D. That's awesome, Kirill. And yes, congratulations on graduating. Although I think you graduated before I took my hiatus, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Kirill? Don't need this. We are now in the same time zone. I'll do you one better. We're in more than just the same time zone. But you know the rest. No docs, no docs, no docs. Do not docs. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this too. That's more for my dumb jokes. That and the you suck, McBain. Let's see. That's about as short as you get it cut. Yeah, but this is definitely an overcorrection. So I had hair that was like long, and it was coming down here, and I hated it. But I had to keep it on so that the stylist could actually curl it. It was a nice tight curl during the wedding itself. And once I had a chance, I was just like, go take it all off, please. Oh, there's the Stewie boy. And he's back. Objection! I had hair? I mean, no. I put it on, in post, but, like, this is a new model and all that. Hey, look who it is. Here we go. Oh, look at him showing you guys. That's the butt stuff you come to the internet for, right? Right? He's sniffing at the door right now because he wants out. Go to your bed, buddy. Go lie down. Wait, I gotta wet my whistle here, so give me a second. Hi guys, you can see my hand as I reach over for alcohol. I'm gonna catch up on chat again. I've been working on my book throughout April. Yeah, I remember talking about that, getting it published and everything, so good stuff. Let's have a drink to that as well. So you guys can hear clinkety clink clink clink. a story about that sound later. Okay, well, he's not moving anytime soon. So, back to me with the Tony. So we can confirm you're in the land of Canadian cowboys. Yes, I am now in Canadian Texas. Or after our most recent election, I like to call it Blue Berta. The color representation of our Conservative Party is blue. The color representation of our Liberal Party is red, which feels like it's quite the flip, the American side. Most people would think red or blue would be Democrats, which are the Liberal Party in the States, and conservatives are the Republicans, which are red in the States. Over here, liberal is red. Conservatives blue. We also have a third party called NDP, which is orange. And we also have a green party, which they have a can-do attitude. I'll give them that. With their highest achievement of 3 seats. Not this election, but like the highest they've ever obtained was 3 seats. In my lifetime, anyways. There now, anyway. Yeah, I am still alive. It's me. Also, missed that opportunity to do the whole "it's gonna be May." But there you go, I said it. So we all can hate me again now. Go to the Comic-Con last weekend. My MacBook doesn't work. Yeah. I mean, do you go? You go every year? Fantastic. Because I could only assume that the change is very minimal year to year, right? I may take advantage of it next year. We'll see. Either that or I just will fly to PAX again. But that's going to cost way more now for me. Because now I actually have to fly. I can't just drive down there. That's do we shrink the wash, or is it just he's far from camera? He's far from he didn't shrink in the wash. He does have his hair's about medium, his usual medium. The camera's just like way further up though, like as an example, but not at scale. The camera used to be like at this level, and now it's at least 50% higher than it was before. It's on top of a shelf, with the goal being to try and obtain as much of a view of the room as possible without bolting it like up to the very corner or something, which might have to be a possibility. We'll see. The biggest thing though is that I have to find out where he ends up going around here while I'm streaming. While I'm working like over here, because this is where my Cintiq is. So he will sit under the desk here where my feet are. When I stream, I can't have him at my feet. Or at least if I kick around, you know, he's just gonna be like, "Hey, why did you do that?" Like I said, I have been combating some itchy throat, so that's gonna happen from time to time. Sorry, guys. Go figure, it had to happen when I was doing my comeback stream, right? Thankfully, this is a more chill stream sort of thing. And you guys might have also noticed this growth that I have on my hand. I kind of got it a couple weeks ago. I haven't really applied many creams or anything to it yet, but I might have to get it lasered off. Well, I'll have to see. Bit of a growth. Let's see. Elizabeth May won her seat and they were throwing a party. Yeah, I mean, they're having a grand old time just being able to do that. Did you hear what she said too? She said, "I'd be open to being Speaker of the House." I don't know. Those Greens, man, I feel like they're the ones that are wasting money. They don't do anything. But people are contributing to them. That's the irony, is that they seem like they're the most corrupt, even though it's probably just out of silliness. I don't know. They're acting as if they won the election. They probably thought that a lot of their seats were going to go to the Liberals, especially considering how there was just that gigantic shift that Canadians did, you know? I still understand in politics, just in the waiting room to travel worldwide again. Oh, you still don't understand the politics, you're just in the waiting room to travel worldwide again. Yeah, at least you can internet worldwide, right? Thankfully, you're not in, like, say, China, where they control all the internet. Come before because of money. This year I was hoping to because I had a chance to say, no, the laptop is more important right now. Mystery? I think it's a secret. So, Flawley was saying, is she changing her name to Secret Waifu? And I was like, there is no chance in hell she will ever call herself that. Not waifu anyways. She'll probably just go with the secret wife, to be honest. But we're not going to find out until she pops in. And even then, she might not even remember to do it. Until she sees her name on there and it's like, oh yeah, I have to change that. What from Good Girlfriend? Oh, yeah, Fantastic was right. Yeah, Secret GF, the Secret Fiancé. YouTube and Discord got taken away. Oof. Dang. Oh, you got proxy. Okay, so you can still use proxy. It's going to be a little bit slower, but it's better than no access, right? Anyways, guys, I'm back, and let's cheers to that. Clang. And honestly, Carol, no, you should be old enough to be drinking in Russia now, right? Just do it anyways. Since when did Russia ever follow the rule of law anyways? Oh, that's good. That's actually quite good. Obviously drank a decent amount on my wedding, but I've been kind of this week I went a little dry just to, you know, I knew I was going to be drinking tonight because Tony's back. Hey, Tony's back. All right, so I got a list of items to talk about just because I know I'm going to forget shit, but honestly, this list, it almost feels like less. It's either less happened this hiatus than the last hiatus I took, which was another move 3 years ago. Or maybe I've just forgotten a lot of stuff, you know? Or maybe it's because things actually went according to plan this time. So, last time on the island, the last stream was January 31st. And then when I looked at what would be a comfortable time to do a comeback, it was May 1st. So I was like, oh, that is an actual 3 months before I come back. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Because it landed on a Thursday. Perfect. That's why I decided to do it. Well, yeah, that's why I decided to do it today. And also just making sure that things actually lined up properly, you know, like in the time off that I had, still needed to take some time to get things set. Be the responsible adult, you know? Adult. Let's see here. So, I've already mentioned to you guys that I was moving. I mean, you know that I moved, but like, even well before you knew I was moving. But that whole moving thing started from April 2024, where I was visiting here, like this my hometown here, for a whole month. We started going around looking at new build houses. We saw what we liked. We hemmed and hawed about it a bit, and then we put in the deposit. And so once we got back, we just started going around the house like, okay, what are things that are just on display, things we don't actually use? We got to start packing those away right now. But I also had to clean out the room that we ended up making, the room that we were going to store all of the boxes in. So the room that we ended up storing all the boxes in, what it formerly was our gym, which we almost never used. But we had the extra room, so we were going to use it. It was very bare bones. It had, what did it have? It had a TV stand, a couple of things kicking around here and there. Thinking of what it is. It's a Chester drawer, not Chester. Wardrobe. A wardrobe. Portable wardrobe. and an exercise bike, and a few other things that were easy to move, like packs of toilet paper and whatnot. So obviously those were the first things to get moved out, get put onto Facebook Marketplace and sold. Get them out of here, because it's like, we don't need them. And so by the end of, let's see, we're packing, putting stuff away, selling things, etc. That room ended up getting about 150 boxes in there, and that's not including everything outside of that room, furniture and just other places we ended up putting boxes, because this was down in the basement. I chose putting boxes down there because it just got out of our everyday life, right? And I was streaming throughout it all of it, so every now and then I would go pack a few things in between. You guys probably remember seeing on my stream, like, things would just very slowly disappear behind me. Also, feel free to jump in with any questions as I go on. I don't need this to be a constant Tony talking session. Tony, that's why we're here. Oh, right.
That's good.
Yes, even the lights were getting packed up. Yep. By the way, the lights do still work. Just saying.
Steamed hams.
You know that guy? Well, tell him he owes me money. Hair Diaper, how you doing, buddy? It was good, man. It was good. Oh yeah, don't forget, all the sound effects are still working too, guys. Like so far everything's still working, except for Stream Raiders, obviously. But you know, Stream Raiders died while I was on hiatus. Let's see. So really, I kept streaming from like April 2024 all the way up until January 31st, right? Quick time off. So really I decided, and I mentioned before, like I took the time off because I needed to be responsible and actually take the time to pack more efficiently. Tie up some loose ends. I was on that Techeries podcast, if you guys remember, and if you don't, I think this has it doesn't have a link to their YouTube, but I'm pretty sure if you go to their Twitch, go to their YouTube, they probably have the interview still up there. I don't know what they're doing with it. But yeah, soon after, it was the very next day. It wasn't the next day. I streamed on the Friday, the Saturdays, and then the Sunday is when I was on that podcast with them playing, what's it called? Raft. So in the time that I took off of streaming, not only was I doing all the packing and selling and everything, but I also took that opportunity to just go see some local friends and take in some of the local restaurants and stuff that it's just not going to be as easy for me to access anymore. And the reason why I say not as easy for me to access as opposed to never eat there again is because Vancouver is just a 1-hour flight away. And one of the big reasons why we moved is because we're going to be saving money on our mortgage for an equivalent house. And we're also saving money. Well, I was going to say we're going to save money because we don't have to pay provincial tax. But I think all that money goes away when you see how much more you're paying for things like electricity, water, gas. So it was a balance, but we're still saving more money than not. Once things actually work out. Right now we're hemorrhaging money, but that's because money is going towards a lot of setting things in and whatever. More on that later. In any case, what was I trying to say? Oh yeah. Basically it means that it's much more affordable for me to actually just decide I'm going to take a trip back to Vancouver. Go eat at some of the restaurants that I loved. Maybe go see some people. Accommodations might be more expensive though, so not like I can go every month, but still, it's not to say that I will be gone forever. I just don't have quick access. And to be honest, even when we lived there, we were living in a city that was an hour outside of the main hub. So we kind of didn't even see a lot of people. We were very hermit-like at that house for 3 years. Even before, when we were in the townhouse, we just didn't go out and see much. Granted, COVID was that, but hey. So really, things haven't changed coming here, and it's kind of the funny dichotomy of it. Regardless, I did take that time, though, to, you know, go to some of those restaurants, see some of those friends, and also just take in the city in a way that I hadn't until the idea of the fact that I couldn't just easily do it anymore came in. You know? Places that I would have walked around thinking, this is nice, and then think nothing else of it, soon started becoming, I'm just going to take this in a bit more. Because who knows when I'll be back here again, etc., etc. What else? Go hiking in Banff this summer with your park pass gets passed this year. That was one of Carney's campaign promises. Oh, actually didn't read up on that. Watch The Simpsons first 3 episodes. They really just made so many mini movies. The first 3 episodes? I guess so. Well, I could go on about Simpsons, but that's a whole other thing right now. And the motel costs are a lot higher. Even radium is more expensive. Well, yeah, but that's also like, that's radium and those places. They're more like touristy, I think. Pretty sure I can find a cheaper place in the Vancouver area, but it's not completely cheap. I'll have to ask some of my friends, like, hey, does anybody have Airbnbs that I could use? Let's see, where am I at here? Oh, speaking of Airbnb, so I just remembered something I didn't write down that was insane. So, okay, so. Bacon. Shoot, I better double check my calendar here. Shiro-san! Or is it Chien? I don't know. Anyway, ooh, hold on. Got some video from the wifey. Or not messages and video. Huh. Interesting. Apparently the kid across the street is throwing a tantrum. And she took a video of it because like the window's wide open. She's just sitting there crying. The dad takes the tricycle away and it's like, come inside, let's go. Come on, I'll pick you up. Oh man, she's gonna have a fun time watching kids cry. Crying kids makes her laugh, by the way. Shiro, how you doing, buddy? Oh no, who's this homeless guy that has wandered into the island? Yeah, he's took over. I just found this place. It's fine. Thank you for the welcome back, Shiro. Hope you're doing well. See you back in action, but I need some rest. 3. Yeah, buddy. It's late where you are. You go right ahead and sleep. Do the sleep. Sleep. Island squatters' rights. Exactly, Shiro. Exactly. Somehow that made it over from the mainland. I don't mind. Nice decided to. Oh. Rex used it really weird. Your name is now Nice, Rex. Nice decided to take a little swim in the ocean for a little bit. Have fun. Anyways, back to the story. So, all right, I still have to look at the calendar. That's the whole reason I opened up the phone. Lol. let's see here. Do. Okay, yeah. So the possession date for our house to sell to the buyers was February 28th. Okay. We booked an Airbnb for 3 weeks because we didn't want to drive out right away. Me thinking that the weather would be worse at the end of February than mid-March. After, once we started driving through in mid-March, it wasn't terrible weather, but it wasn't the best weather. We still took our time. We got through, obviously, perfectly fine with very little headache. A little bit of headache, but not a lot of headache. Meanwhile, what I realized is that, it was way sunnier and nicer. It was a much nicer drive had we driven out the very next day after the full sale. Oops! I still think it was the best idea to just get an Airbnb for a bit, wait, and odds on favor was that it would have been better weather. Bartender looks like to be out of touch or drunk. Anyways, here's the crazy thing. So we get into the Airbnb, we have a crossover, so we can access the Airbnb, but we still own the house, so we can start moving things over at a reasonable pace. I'm also taking time off of work, so I have to take things over there as soon as possible, set them up so I can continue working. So we're settled into the Airbnb. And we have our final day in the house. We obviously have our moments. Yeah, we had our moments in the house. We just kind of sat there, took it in for a little bit, but then we left. Our real estate agent was at the house on possession day. Both of them, actually. They were just doing something in the garage with the garage door opener as a final touch thing. And as they're doing that, a real estate agent told us that they heard a boom and there was a shake. And she thought it was an earthquake because leading up to this day, there was actually 2 smaller earthquakes that went off. So it's a not so normal yet normal thing that happens in the lower mainland. So I wouldn't have thought too much about it, right? But then they go outside and everybody's also going outside. And then there's this gigantic plume of smoke coming from about 1.5 blocks away. And then we're just sitting at the Airbnb and we're like, what? So what ended up happening? Yes, the annual meth lab explosion. So Shiro, did I tell you about this? In one of your streams? Or did you read about it? I can't remember, but yeah, long story short, it was a meth lab in a home and it exploded in the early hours, well, the morning hours of possession day. So the buyers drove in because they're supposed to get the keys from my real estate agent. But just imagine you just bought a property and you pull up and plume of smoke, ash raining down, which was hot, and everybody's just there's just chaos, and there's a house on fire on the other side of a house somewhere. You're like, what? Yeah, Shiro, you called it. And if you guys look up Meth Lab Langley, BC, you'll read about it. But here's the thing that worried me the most. So first of all, I was just like, oh man, could you imagine what those buyers are feeling right now? And obviously all the neighbors they know they're the new people in the neighborhood, so they actually were really nice. They came in, they're like, listen, it's not normally like this, I swear, kind of thing. But what we didn't realize until after it happened is, on a technicality, because the keys did not exchange hands just yet, there was a possibility that the owner or the buyers could have killed the deal. We would have kept the deposit, but they could have killed the deal before keys touched hand. And like, that kind of stressed me out a little bit, but thankfully I came upon that realization in conjunction with the real estate agent also mentioning that later in the day. But thankfully, she was quick on the draw. As soon as she realized that the buyers were here and they saw that and everything, and as soon as there was a bit of a lull in all the panic and whatnot, it was like, well, here you go, clink! Well, now it's yours! And then legally, that's theirs. She also found out that, yeah, like technically, let's say we were the house that was beside the one that exploded. And so like our house is one that's on fire or missing a floor because of it and whatnot. The sale could be canceled because we can't sell them a livable dwelling anymore. So yeah, they would argue for cheaper price because of an exploded meth lab. You can argue a higher price because less meth in the area. Exactly, Shiro. Exactly. So yeah, that was insane to hear. Meanwhile, we're just sitting in our Airbnb about a city or two over. It's like, what happened? Sorry, what? Well, not my problem anymore. Although I did have enough empathy to go, I am so sorry that happened to those people, and they're probably stressing the fuck out. But I'm glad the neighbors were able to come out and, I want to say calm them down, but it's not to say that they had to be calmed down. And Dan just crashing in like a meth lab house. What? Dan, hi, buddy. Welcome on in, and thank you for contributing. And what was it? See, technical difficulty. Blip, blip, blip. Welcome for joining the VIP club again for 46 months. Hey, guess what? Let's take a quick minute from this story to go see if Shirtless Dan can guess this game that hasn't been guessed in 3 months because I haven't been streaming. Haha. I am just gonna quickly pop this. Hi, Dan. All right, let's remove panel 51. Ooh, so helpful. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Gotta open this up here so I can actually read the numbers there. Panel 51. Well, Dan, you know the rules and all that stuff, so I'm just gonna let that go so I could be all like, hi. Your sub lapsed just yesterday. Wait, were you paying for a sub even though I wasn't streaming? Dan, why? Thank you, but why? Wheeling off onto the side of the bed is a tradition. Oh, I guess you can't see it right now, but we'll see it again in a bit. Go to 5 stars. I was promised meth. The lab blew up. You subbed 3 months at a time. That's right. You had just subbed, even though you knew I wasn't gonna be streaming, and so I just have to say, thank you, sir. You've really kept me going through these lean times. Yeah, but hey, Dan, can you guess the exact title of this game here at all? Is it all possible? Do you think it's possible? Are you able to do it? You're gonna guess Dokapon Kingdom. Well,
If you're trying to impress me, you failed.
no, sir. It is not Dokapon Kingdom. Nope. But hey, thanks all the same. You have a rough idea of what it is? Just saying, you could. You know. You think you might too? At least the genre. There. Fair. Anyways, yes, Stewie off the side of his bed. Tradition. I am not subbed, so I won't say anything. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly how the game plays. Also, Dan, I was saying earlier that I've been fighting a little tickle in my throat. So occasionally I will be muting and just, you know, going off on the corner. Wait a sec. Did that song just start off with the Super Mario Kart intro? Yeah. I am currently playing a lo-fi and chill video game thing. Oh, sorry, I didn't. I meant to actually mute the mic when I did that. Anyways, back to story time, Dan. I was telling everybody about how the day of possession for the house that we sold, a meth lab in a house exploded a block and a half away. And we were this close to not selling our house. But our real estate agent was like, jumped on it immediately, put the keys in their hand, and it's like, well, here you go. It's a what a way to start off. It's a bang. Kind of thing. Okay, so maybe I will explain the story again. Yeah, so we moved out. We moved to an Airbnb. It was possession day. Home is not officially theirs until keys get into their hand. A real estate agent is there to give them the keys. A boom goes off. There's a shake. There's all this ash flying out of the air. There was a house on fire a block and a half away at the old house, right? At the house that we sold. Turns out after the fact that it was a meth lab, but like you kind of make those assumptions right away, and they were right. Was a meth lab. Can't confirm. Was a meth lab. Definitely meth lab. Definitely a meth lab. And So yeah, that's the thing. What we found out is that if our house was beside that house that exploded and like was on fire at the time, or had a chunk of the house missing because of the explosion, we would legally have to not sell that to them, because we can't sell in a dwelling that's uninhabitable. And I think we would have had to actually return the deposit too, just because it's act of God. And yeah, in any case, long story short, it all went through. House got sold. I'm certain that they've not so much forgotten about it, but like I'm hoping they're enjoying the house. It was a good house. We never left. I know meth labs is act of God. Huh, meth labs are act of God. I learned something today. We didn't move because we didn't like the house or the neighborhood. What we didn't like was the unaffordability of the province. We were going to be able to get a place here where I'm living now, a comparable house for much cheaper. Our monthly mortgage is gone way down in costs. And it's a nice new house too, as opposed to a 20-year-old house. But that old house, the new owners, like, honestly, they still have a pretty good house. It was a very good house. We were sad to go, in a way. Well, it is what it was. So yeah, that was some insanity. So we're spending 3 weeks in this Airbnb. I am down to 2 monitors instead of my 3. I still have my Cintiq and another monitor. And I have this tiny ass desk that I'm working on in like a second room. Honestly, it was very comfortable. It was surprisingly very. I was just gonna be like, okay, I mean, I'll put up with it. It's just 3 weeks, and then I get my old setup back again within another week, sort of thing. Because I kept my table. I kept the exact same table because I could not find a newer table of this quality. It's old, but still, like, you know, firm quality and size. For that matter, I've put on the extra leaf now too, so I get even more space. New house, the one with a second kitchen. No, so the old house was a second kitchen. The old house had a second kitchen because it had a rental suite in the basement. It was a kitchen we only used when we first moved in, and then we were living in the basement because we had people painting the upper 2 floors. And we never actually used it again. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Actually, the secret wife, when she was the secret fiance, was trying to make her own earring, like doing clay work. So she used the oven down there as a kiln. That was really the closest thing. This house only has one kitchen. It doesn't have a downstairs rental unit or whatever. Oh, big stretch by the Stewster. Going to the bed? You going to the bed? He's on the bed. Ladies and gentlemen, he is on the bed. Stewie has made it to the bed. But yeah, that was some insanity. But the Airbnb we were living in was the basement suite of a very nice new modern house. I'm gonna say it's an affluent neighborhood, but it was a neighborhood that had some really nice houses, actually, believe it or not. And it was nice. It was near the ocean. I actually could just take a walk down. It's Zero Zabias. Is it Thursday already? Yeah, it is. Buddy, welcome on in. Nice to see you. How's it going? How you doing? Let's head on over to the giveaway, shall we? I'm not doing the usual spiel because I just wanna get going on everything, but let's remove that panel for you and see if you, and only you, can guess what this game is under here. How are you doing, bud? Okay, so now I actually have to do the broad strokes of that story again for Zero. On possession day, as we were selling our house, a house a block and a half down the street blew up. It was a meth lab. We might not have finished the sale, but we finished the sale. Long story short. Spiral final answer.
If you're trying to impress me, you failed.
Incorrect, sir. But regardless, thank you for the sub. I appreciate you. And you. And you. And you. And you. Welcome on back to the island, everybody. So I'm still going into more story time here. Yeah, that Airbnb was really nice. I was able to walk down to a convenience store and back in the middle of the day, so I was like, oh, this could be dangerous if I actually lived here. Because I could easily go and find fattening snacks in the middle of the day as my cravings come up. So, let's see. So, while moving and getting the house ready and everything, I am also planning a wedding, right? So that's still all going on, and we're getting closer and closer to the date. Like, we're about 2 months out. So things are really starting to pick up, and we're still planning this wedding from a different city entirely, which is not really wasn't that big of a problem, especially since we paid a coordinator to help us as well, who was like a friend of the family. So, yay, that was good. She really helped keep our sanity. Although we were doing pretty good on our own. But it's just, we were able to put things into her hands and forget about it, you know? She was taking care of things. She even added new ideas that we were like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. More on that later. She gave us a great idea. That was a hit at the wedding. And so we're in there for 3 weeks. And then March 15th hits. This is a Saturday, of course. Obviously, the Friday night beforehand, we are stuffing everything that we can into our SUV. We almost didn't fit everything. Well, there were some things we kind of had to leave or sell or whatever. Some of which were some of the wife's plants, which she was quite upset about. She was quite upset about some plants that almost didn't make it in the car. But then I saw a solution. I quickly acted, grabbed it out of her hand. And I'm actually not. That's not hyperbole. He was just standing there, sad, staring at it. Meanwhile, I'm just like, wait a minute. Tetris things around a bit. I actually just grabbed it because the night was getting late. Granted, I was just like, wait, hold on. Hey, it fits. Now shut the door. It locked. As long as it doesn't pop open while we drive, we're Gucci. So we got a full SU, super full. Like, I could feel the car not struggling, but having to work a bit harder just to move. Granted, though, thankfully it wasn't an EV. It's a gas-powered SUV because we knew where we were moving. You know, Calgary, Alberta. You need an SUV for the wintertime. But we still have our EV for the summertime, so we don't waste gas unnecessarily. So we take the 12-hour drive. There was honestly 9 hours out of the 13. There was some kind of snow going on, so like there was some portions where I was just kind of gripping the I was passenger at the time, gripping the door a bit, and just watch. This is exactly the time that Secret Wife is gonna come in here. We were at this stretch where it was snowing, fresh snow, everybody's going slow. She's just like, Vrr! I'm like, babe, I'd like to make it back. I'd like to make it to our new home in one piece, please. I was actually kind of pissed when we got to the stop that we got to. And I was like, I'm driving. Like, pull over right now. I am driving. You are clearly incapable of understanding when you are driving fucking dangerously on a mountain road. So, yeah, that happened. But honestly, that was the worst thing that happened. Thankfully. Let's see. So we arrive at my parents' place. We're tired. We keep the car. We take about 3 days or so. What else happened? We had to do some wedding planning related stuff. So our time was busy. We were off of work. This was during a weekend as well. And then we get possession of our house on March 18th. Keys in hand. It is our newly built home. And we immediately have to get underway to do some other things. We needed to reserve space on the street for the moving trucks. Back in BC, you can call the city and say that you'd like to pay for and reserve sections of a street. You just have to pay the fee. They send somebody out to put signage up and everything. Here in privatized ass Alberta, you're responsible for the signage, and you still have to pay for the right to put the signage up there. Granted, it's not as high, but still. You register that you want to reserve a section of street for whatever. In our case, it was the moving truck. But we had to go find our own signage, and the signage had to meet certain standards. And we're just like, where the fuck do we get this signage? Well, hell, turns out there's all these signage stores all over the province because guess what? Privatized. And they wanted, for 2 fucking no parking signs, they wanted to charge us like something like $600. I was like, fuck you. You gouging assholes. So you know what we did? We bought a stand. We thought we bought 2. Turns out it was only 1. But I don't blame Secret Wifo. I don't blame the wife for thinking it was 2 because the picture made it look like it was 2. It was kind of shitty. In any case, we end up getting 1. But we also purchased, like, off of Amazon, we also purchased no parking signs that were basically the same as what they wanted. We ended up spending maybe $200 for. We did end up using two signs. Like, there's 2 signs and 2 poles. The second pole that we used, my mom brought up like a Christmas design sign that she's never used, and she said, "Hey, we could just hot glue it to this, and then you can knock it into the ground." So that's what we did, and then the inspector for the signs came around, just said, "Yep, fine by me. It's the proper height off the ground." It didn't matter what kind of pole it was on or whatever, as long as you could see the sign, no parking here to here. Oh, okay. Saved some money. Saved our asses from getting gouged. And so the movers come. We take Stewie to a daycare place. The movers come. They come on in. Pushy, but whatever. That's just gripes. I mean, all in all, the fact that they moved all of our stuff into the house and I didn't have to lift a finger, what I did to keep things organized in the house it's fine. What I didn't like, though, is they gave me some bullshit excuse. Like, you know those carpets that they unroll so that they can walk into the house with their shoes on, but not actually walk on the carpet or on the floor? They gave me this bullshit excuse that they're not allowed to put those runners, they're called runners, into rooms. So they walk into the rooms with their boots on. And I'm like, but you're getting the floor dirty. And he's telling me, like, Tony, it is physically impossible for our shoes to be dirty by the time we keep walking up the thing. It's like, you don't understand how boots work, do you? Shit gets lodged in between your cleats and they will come off. In fact, they're more likely to come off when you're standing on carpet, because then there's a little brush going up and cleaning your fucking shoes. So that was bullshit. And of course they got thankfully it wasn't mud, but it was still some dirt on the carpet. Thankfully, I have a carpet cleaner. But boy, did we fucking told off that company. You know. Exactly, Dan. This guy's trying to, everything was fine-ish. But as the day went on, I noticed these guys are just really pushy. Granted, they are lifting a lot of boxes they want to get done, but it's still just stupid. Ooh! We got our first bot. Guys, this is my chance. I can get best viewers on streamboot.com. Remove the space. Don't forget to remove the space. And... oh, there we go. Dan took care of it.
You suck, McBain!
Take a swig. So yeah, it's just these guys were pushy. They were getting lazier with my shit. And then he's trying to try to bullshit me about like the damages that they're doing to my nice new house. Like, don't talk to me like I'm a fucking idiot. I see the shit you're doing. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm reporting this to your company. So, and like he's trying to like ask like there's no need to get them involved and everything. Like, yeah, there's clear need to get them involved if you're trying to bullshit me that it's totally normal. Fuck you. First of all. Okay? I get that you're a moving company, and guess what? You're a moving company, you're lifting boxes because I'm paying you to lift those boxes. If you were doing it for free, maybe I'd be a little more like, oh, I'll clean it. Anyway. There's been a lot of contact with people to make sure that things look nice and new in my nice and new house. Now, the thing is that we had to take possession of the house a bit earlier than it's actually complete. Parts of the house that I'm about to mention were supposed to have been completed by now. But unfortunately, a lot of it, almost all of it actually, is exterior stuff. And you have to do it at a certain time of the year here in Calgary because then the weather turns in wintertime. So they missed the opportunity to get our driveway done, the grading around the house, the stonework, exterior painting, and our AC unit. Now, granted, that also means that the inside of the house, it doesn't mean that the inside of the house is unlivable. It was like we actually came in here, we were able to go about the unboxing thing, but right now we have a gravel driveway. They put down boards leading up to our front door. The grading, like when I say grading, I mean like the ground is not the proper level yet outside. There was a portion of our house that was just looking naked and bald, like it was just all black interior, because they were supposed to put stonework on it. They just finished it today. Or they're pretty close to finishing it, actually. There's this tiny little section left undone. It's going to be done by the end of this week, though, so it's looking real nice, by the way. It's looking quite nice. What else? The exterior painting wasn't done until recently. They need to come back for a second coat. We don't have an AC unit because they couldn't install it yet. Which is fine because like we're not in that time of the year where it's super hot. Now granted, today was like a high of 21 degrees Celsius, and that would tend to heat up the house at our old house. But this one, the insulation is so good, I would step back into the house and it would actually be nice and cool. It's actually quite good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so there's still some stuff to be done. Also, we had an inspector come by, and this is an inspector that does Instagram reels and stuff, and some of the things he finds in new builds, it's not just him too. You go find any Instagram inspector, they're gonna go look at new build homes now, and more often than not, they're gonna put on blast just how bad some of them are. Some of these new homes, they're just shitty. You know, they could be just really shittily done, and if you don't know what you're looking for, oh shit, I didn't realize I didn't log out from work. Okay, hold on. I didn't log out from work. That's too funny. Gotta close that down. That's what that bling was just now. Yeah. You're wondering why you heard your Teams. Yeah, and you're right, it is Teams. I was like, oh shit, I didn't log out of work yet. Go fucking figure though. I barely ever hear my Teams go off when I'm working. I just heard it there. Like, what the fuck? When I'm not working. Anyway. I know the mindfuck. Yeah, that happens often. Like that'll happen often too when you're watching streamers or whatever, and then you hear the sound of like a chat program that you use at work, and you're just like, wait, what? Wait, what? Ooh, what? Let's see. So yeah, ever since taking possession, it's been just home improvement visit after home improvement visit. We had people coming in and installing shit, and then we also are just going to IKEA and the brick and buying, like we bought 2 new couches, then we ended up getting a 3rd new couch because we liked how cozy we used the space was. The 3rd one is a smaller couch. It's more like a love seat. Found it on a damn good deal too. I took a moment for you to recognize it. It must have had a Canadian accent. What else did we have installed? We had people coming in. Wait, hold on. Did we? We had people to come in to fix some of the damage that was made by the movers. Somebody came to install the water softener and filter in our mechanical room. I can tell you guys what that means later. Ping A. Ping A. It's a liberal ping. So then we wanted to mount our TV. So we got some people in to like actually install the mounting. And they found out that the area that we were told had extra backing to mount a TV didn't have that backing at all. At least that's what we thought. We thought it had no backing at all. We're just like, what the fuck? We told them to put it in there. So we end up having to pay the people who came out to install it, even though they didn't install it. But they gave us a suggestion, like, if you can, you should return this this mounting bracket. Go buy this better one from Costco. Like, okay. But they open up the we got. There's this guy who comes by to make sure we're satisfied with our purchase. So at least, you know, our builder has that. Oh, I just remembered. I didn't finish my previous story. But anyways, I'll keep going. You got a water softener in your utility room? Okay, so you get it. You probably live not on the coast. Well, no. So it is the person that comes to make sure that it's not HOA, by the way. The person who comes in to make sure we're okay with our purchase is from the builder themselves. They specialize in aftercare, especially considering that you have the warranty. And the thing is too is that they're actually a smaller builder, so they want to make sure that they put in all the effort to get proper, like, good reviews from people. So he comes in, and if we ever find anything within our warranty period, he will come in and either try to take care of it himself or hire people to do it. Because they didn't put that backing in, even though they told us that they would, and we paid for the extra, they ended up paying for that first visit of the TV mounters. And then that same guy came by, cut open the wall, and we saw that, yes, there was some backing there, but it was this. It was, I kid you not, I could put my hand up like this from stud to stud, mind you, but this is all they gave us for mounting. You need a minimum of this much, like 3 times as much as what was put in. He fixed it, he put in more board and everything like that, but now we've had to get a drywall repair guy in, and it's not a big, maybe it is a bit of a hassle actually, because the guy has to come in, cut the proper size, plaster it, had to let it dry for a night, had to come back the next day, do another layer of plaster, let it dry overnight, had to come back for a third today, and then tomorrow he's coming back to sand it. But every time people have to come to the house, we have to hide Stewie somewhere because he just barks in everybody's faces. He's vicious. He's vicious. Mind you, I'm talking about this thing right here. This little dude right here is fucking vicious. Starts barking his head off at strangers. But then when you give him treats, and a little bit later in the day, you're his new best friend. Fuck you, you little shit. Okay, I actually like the idea that I can do this. So I might just leave the camera where it is. We'll have to see. Materials expand unevenly. Oh yeah, that cutout's still going to show in about 8 to 10 years. Yeah, but it's going to be behind a TV, so that's not really a problem. Which is fine. Just to make... Bonk! I might get a Nerf gun, actually. Poof. The things I can do with this are kind of funny, actually. Anyways. So that happened. Yeah, let's see. So let me take a step back, which I unfortunately skipped over. So we had an inspector look over the house. You always have to get an inspector to look over a house that you get. Just always do it. And try to make it so, like, if anybody is offering to pay or use their inspector, don't. You very well could get an inspector that's paid off and will not show you exactly what you need to see. Stewie is huffing right now in his sleep. Probably running too. Keep an eye on his feet. You see his stomach? He's going. In any case, the inspector comes, looks around the house, and he actually said that this is a pretty well-built house. You guys should be, I think you guys are going to be very happy with this house. It's very well built. He still found, like, one or two little things, but I'm happy that he only identified 2 issues that we were unaware of. The other issues that he had to put into his report were the fact that the grading wasn't done, the cladding wasn't done, etc. But this is all stuff that we knew that was happening. My inspector missed that my house had no connected ventilation system to the central AC. Oh, that's a huge, terrible miss. Now, did you pay for that inspector independently, or was it just a case of a bad inspector? Oh, and go there. That's all in his dream. So what he did find was there was just like a botched wood installation behind the garage at the side of the house, which easy fix. One of the bigger problems though is our back deck, while not dangerous right now, still not completely safe. He found a section of one of the pillars to the deck, and he was able to fit his entire hand under it. So basically the wood was not touching the concrete slab, which it is supposed to be. Second issue is that they left it with just bonding glue. You have to use metal bonding strips, or else, like, the glue is going to get affected by the weather, and then you're in big fucking trouble. Yeah, that is bad. Big miss. So obviously we've put this forward to the builder. They recognize it. They're going to get it fixed. Once we get to a proper season for it, though. Okay, I think Stewie's done running or eating cute or whatever. Ooh, nice. Is it going to be a nice, big, sexy deck? You deckhead. Anyway. So those are some things, and that's going to go through. Something I'm not liking, by the way, though, these trades, when the builder is hiring them to fix all these things, they're just showing up. Like, they're not calling us. They're not letting us get, like, plan for Stewie. Or, like, if there was this one time we had to go out one day, but the painters just showed up. And so we have these guys outside of our house, but we're not going to be home. We're like, the fuck? Anyways, I don't like it. I don't like when these trades just show up out of the blue. I understand that it is not absolutely necessary for them to interact with us at all, but you need to fucking call me when you're going to be working on my house. Okay? I feel like the next time they come by without telling us ahead of time, I'm just going to tell them, get the fuck out of here. Like, well, if I have to go out. If I have to stay home, fine, whatever. But it's like, I have plans tonight, and you should not be here. You never texted us. You never told us when you're coming. Get the fuck off my property. Rex and Timberline composite deck will last 50 years. Nice. It's extremely unprofessional. But, I mean, I'm starting to really understand how some tradespeople will just stay as tradespeople. I won't even have to say the D word. You get it. They think are a cable company. Even then, a cable company would book for you here. Oh, that's another thing I should mention, by the way. So I got this nice new house, new built house, and we went through the whole process of like installing the the network cable outlets and stuff into rooms all around the house, right? They installed all the wires in the utility room, but they're all just disconnected. I was like, where's our network hub? Are you telling me you're installing all of these things in my house and not connecting it to a network hub? To me, that's a very incomplete job. It's fucking stupid and incomplete. So the cable company comes by. He installs the cable. I get a modem from the company. It has 4 slots. I have 22 friggin' outlets to connect in this house. Now I, who am technically savvy, go and buy a network hub. So I can install it myself fine. But I'm just thinking about the people who aren't as tech savvy. They buy this house, and then they find out that they have to add something on top of it. That is a very bad discovery, which really pissed me off because it's just like, you're not doing what I consider needs to be the bare minimum. You're doing less than the bare minimum. Oh. Halo Lo-Fi. Cable company will say they are coming tomorrow and show up 3 weeks later at 2 p.m. Really? I've actually had no problems. What am I drinking? Scotch. Just some Glenfiddich. Figured I'd start off lights tonight because there's gonna be more going on. Anyway. Up here, our cable companies, we haven't actually had that problem. Which is nice. Quality and decency is disappearing. A shame. It's true. Granted, I've heard about like Comcast and all that down there, and it's just like, yeah. They're all finding all these different ways to just not do their job. And that's kind of where it starts going like, maybe we're going a little too on the left of the political spectrum here now. Because cable companies are terrible. Yep. If you've seen the South Park episode, you would know. I have not seen that. I know about that episode. I haven't actually seen it, though. I gotta get used to talking more again. My throat's a little dry. My throat's a little dry.
That's bad.
Mine drills holes where they don't have to. Oh. Seriously? You don't talk to Stewie all day? Why do you think he falls asleep? He's just bored. Anyway. And mind you, all this stuff that I told you about by the house, now we have the house, right? It's that great. Now I can relax and unpack, right? No. Still planning a wedding. This thing right here. So we're still planning the wedding. Things are getting a lot closer. We got to make sure things are tightened up and everything. We go back to the site just to make sure we coordinate everything. It was a degree of stressful in the sense of I just wanted things to play out. I wanted to make sure things had the best chance as possible of playing out how I envisioned it, because I know that on the day things go wrong and you just let it go. But the more things that you could plan and have contingency for, the better. We did our rehearsal. And then on the day, so we were booked to stay at a penthouse suite on campus. Maybe I should go back a bit. So we booked at at what's called the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, or SAIT for short. And it actually happened to be the college that I attended many, many years ago. On the night that I proposed to the wife, she went online and started looking for locations in Calgary to have a wedding. She found something she really liked. She looked at me and then she said, "You ever heard of this place called SAIT?" I was like, "Babe. Oh, babe. SAIT used to be my stomping grounds for 2 years." So I didn't know that they did weddings there. But what ended up happening was we were able to rent out an entire foyer of a heritage building. She likes heritage-looking buildings, like buildings with brick and everything like that. That's what really attracted her to it. So we were able to rent out this foyer. We were able to rent out this hall, which is a big hall. That's where we had our ceremony, which was able to hold 160 people. The foyer is just outside of it. So everybody funneled in from there, and then they funneled out once we finished like all the proceedings of getting married and everything. And then behind that room that we got married in is a big atrium. That's where they set up the reception, but they only opened it about Got some Kingdom Hearts music in the back there. I was like, I recognize that sound effect. So like 4 o'clock we finished. There was a happy hour in the foyer where there was a bar available. And then they opened up the reception atrium at 5, so people were able to funnel in, find their seats, etc. Meanwhile, we're out taking pictures and everything like that. So we got to use a grand space, really, but it was not expensive for when you think about typical event spaces. Event spaces will cost a lot because, like, they know you need a space. But this college, it's not what they typically do, so it was actually a bit cheaper. So I feel like we really got our money's worth at this place, especially considering how much space we had for 160 people. And as part of that too, we had access to rent the penthouse suite, which is just above their residences. So there was a main room, and then there were 2 separate rooms, blocked off like on opposite ends. One room didn't have a kitchen, but the other room did. So I took the room that had the kitchen because I was just going to stay on that side the whole time. But then we also had a door so that anybody else who came in the morning to like get ready or hang out or whatever, they can go back and forth. As long as I stayed on my side and she stayed on her side. So we tried our best to honor the whole, the groom or the bride and groom don't see each other until the actual ceremony thing. Mind you, and we told our coordinators this because they asked us, like, how important is it that you don't see each other before? And I said, it's definitely not a red alert if it just happens by accident, but we're going to try our best to honor it. But things happen. Thankfully, nothing happened. So I was able to avoid seeing her until she walked down the aisle. So, yeah. I honestly thought I would be racing around doing more that morning. What ended up actually happening was I woke up. Yes, I had to get up early to go get the makeup artist, and my sister also just happened to have arrived at the same time. So I had to lead them to where it was because what we found out is that people had to park not at the parking lot that's right in front. Like, they weren't allowed to park at the parking lot that was right in front of the building. That was an hourly parking thing. You had to go park somewhere else and then walk up to our building. And it's like, well, that's highly inconvenient, but okay. You okay, Stu? You okay, Stewie? I think Stewie hears the wife coming down the stairs. Bruh? Dude, you gotta wait. You gotta stay here, dude. Any hizzle bizzle. I don't know. We'll see if she'll open up the door or not. Where am I at? What I should say the night before. So when we went and checked out this suite before deciding to purchase and use the area, we looked at areas in it that was like, oh, this will work. This is great. What we should have done is we definitely should have looked. We definitely should have looked in the bathrooms. And also tried the bed. Those are two things that kind of really soured the night before and the night after. The tried the bed. Yeah, you know, you got to make sure you're not going to break it. I didn't realize how that sounded until but no, actually just like lying on the bed. The shower sucked. The bathrooms sucked. They weren't dirty, but it was very clear and obvious that these used to be residences, you know, like for students and stuff, that they converted into a suite. So yeah, we weren't really pleased with that, especially considering it was like our wedding night before and wedding night. But we kind of got to a point where it's just like, what are we gonna do at this point? Right? We powered through it. We had a place to call home base that was steps away from the venue, so I guess. Now regardless, I thought on the day of getting ready, like obviously the bride side had to do a lot, like hair, makeup, all that fun stuff. But on my end, I thought I still had to do more. Like I was just prepared to have to run around and make sure things were prepped here and there. But like, aside from going downstairs and bringing people up, I wasn't doing anything. Like I already planned. I wrote out my vows already. I practiced them. I practiced them again for a bit. I wasn't actually doing anything. I was like, okay, wait. So now I have this feeling of hurry up and wait. Like, I had some kind of degree of, I guess it was anxiety, but it's only because like I felt like I didn't want to just sit around and do nothing, especially on an important day like this. I was like, well, if there's something that's got to be done, I got to do it. That's my anxiety. But then later on, the matron of honor mentioned to me that that's just called anxiety. You're freaking out a little bit. You need to chill out. Oh, good. Is that like, because what was happening is I kept pacing around. I didn't just, once again, I didn't want to just sit down and relax because I felt I had to do something. Like, what needs to be done? When can I do something? I got to do something. So yeah, in hindsight, you know, my prep for the morning went fine and all. The only issue I had really was the fact that we slept, like both she and I, only slept like 4 hours before, so that was kind of an issue. Your buddy was mad freaking out. Was he the one that was getting married? Yeah, like I know that a lot of grooms will be freaking out. I suppose like both brides and grooms will freak out, but like it depends on who you are too. I still haven't actually asked the wife if she had any like moments of anxiety or whatever during it, but from the sounds of what I heard, it just sounded like they were all having fun. I think what really helped was the fact that they were doing stuff. There was things that were planned to be done and they were doing them. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting around. Like, I don't feel right to just be relaxing, despite the fact that I still did some stuff, but it was very sporadic. Thankfully, I had some fun. I had some folks come by to hang out with me because, and here's the thing too. I think either the wife or the matron of honor, they kept sending people over to just keep me company. They felt like, oh, Tony's all by himself, kind of thing. There are also the young kids too, the little flower girls and stuff. They kept sending people over to keep me company, which was super cute. But I was saying, like, I don't mind your company, and thanks for coming over, and that's great. But you don't have to worry about me. I actually am very good at just having chill self, like, just by myself. Like, I'm totally fine to be by myself for periods of time and stuff like that. Like, I'm not lonely or anything like that. It lets me go through my thoughts and everything like that. But then obviously, as the matron of honor mentioned, like, dude, you're pacing around all over the place, you're anxious. Like, oh, I guess you're right. Okay, I'll sit down, I'll chill out. And then very slowly some people were coming by from my side, just to come and hang out, whatever. The groomsmen they came by. We all changed and everything, got into our matching tuxes. Well, no, they weren't tuxes, they were suits. They were custom suits. Oh, guys, I'll tell you what, I have never gotten a custom suit before, and they're good shit, actually. It felt so good slipping into something that was just 100% fitted to me, you know? And it's hard to find fitted stuff off the rack because, like, you know, let's say you find a pair of pants that has good, like, crotch depth, but then, like, the leg is way too long. Or something that's really comfortable in the legs, but then it just tightens right up on the crotch, etc., etc. We made one of the bridesmaids go get a bottle of whiskey. That's funny. My groomsmen got me. They know I like scotch, so they got me a pretty nice, like, rum barrel aged scotch. So we poured some, we sipped some. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet, but I also tweeted out that all I really wanted for the morning was, like, just give me, I got a bottle of Bailey's and get me coffee. Because I'm just used to having that in the morning. Like, they were having mimosas. Mimosas are good and all. But me, I'm a coffee and Bailey's guy in the morning if I'm going to have alcohol in the morning. Because I used to go golfing a lot with my dad. And we would just grab a coffee and Bailey's to shake off the morning nerves or, you know, wake the fuck up kind of thing. And then so the groomsmen are there, they're getting dressed, we're kind of just standing around doing nothing, we're sipping, we're chatting, we're having fun, making sure I don't get too drunk but also not too sober. Enjoy it, right? And then they start pacing around like, man, I'm nervous, I'm more nervous than you, look at Tony, like they actually, like, point at me, like, look at Tony, what the fuck, how are you so chill? I was like, I know I do Twitch, so I know how to handle a crowd, somewhat. Zero. Do it, because I need to re-up this. You can drink with me. We're gonna get sloppy. Maybe not sloppy. Anyways. So then, let's see. Time comes where I have to be brought down to a prep room that we have. So there's a prep room for the bride on one end of the hall, and there's a prep room for the groom on the other end of the hall. So we head on down, I go on in, sitting there chilling out. I'm sitting down, chilling out. The groomsmen are still pacing back and forth, like, man, I'm so nervous for what to do. I'm like, why? I'm the one getting married. But yeah, I think I was just so calm because, okay, I was so generally calm. It's not to say that it's not to say that I didn't have moments of anxiety, but I'll explain those in a minute. Since I do Twitch streaming, right, I know how to act in front of a group, so I'm not nervous about that. On top of that, I have emceed wedding, like, at least, well, I have emceed 3 weddings before, so I know how to talk, I know how to act, and I know how it goes in front of a group, especially for weddings, right? The other thing that gets a bride and groom nervous is the fact that their life, it's the people who don't live together before they get married, because the implication here is that once you get married, things in your everyday life are about to change, and that freaks people out. Whereas with the wife, when she was still fiance and girlfriend, we've been living together for 6 years up until that point. So like, we know how to go about it. Like we life is going right back to normal for what we know is normal after that night. Only difference is that I'm carrying around this extra little bit of weight on my finger. Not only that too, I do catch myself still calling her my fiance every now and then. I did the same thing when she became fiance, right? I was calling her girlfriend a couple of times. So that's coming about, right? What else? So you gotta watch that video. What video? What video did I talk about? I don't have it at the house. The boys all worked up. You gotta watch that video. Eh? Anyway. What else? So wedding goes off without a hitch. Oh, right. I was gonna tell you guys, like, okay, the parts that I did have actual anxiety about is that I am a chronic crier at happy things. So I had to feel like I was prepared. Like I had 2 pockets of tissue just in case, right? And so obviously you get a little nervous about like having to do that in front of people. But at least I put it places where it's just a little like dab. So the nerves were from, will I get through this without becoming a blubbering? Blubbering mess is not the right word, because it's not like I lose everything, go but like the eyes will just like water up, and so like once the eyes water up, then your nose, your sinuses start getting filled. So like when you're about to say things, like you can't get it out, you can't enunciate it, and you're just okay, breathe, that kind of stuff, right? So the anxiety was there for performing, knowing that I have knowing that I have the tendency to cry at happy things, but I made it through. Like the eyes were getting a little watery, but I never actually needed to use the tissues. Surprisingly, absolutely surprised the shit out of me. I walked and acted perfectly fine during the whole thing, but I think a part of me was like, okay, after doing all of it, I would have done things only slightly differently, just in terms of a confidence thing. You know, it's like, oh, I've been through this already. That kind of stuff. I think I would have taken some time to take it all in a little bit better too, but I think I was really trying to keep focused so that I don't lose it. Okay, let me take a quick talking break here. Actually, this is a good opportunity for me to go get some water. My wife, see, I don't think I can't really use that joke with her. She wouldn't understand where it's from. Or she would care. Just drink more so you can talk less. No, this is actually a good, quick opportunity for me to, I'm going to go grab some water, run those 3-minute ads that I forgot to do in the beginning, but whatever. And it gives my voice a little bit of a break. Plus, I could take Stewie upstairs, say hi to the wife, ask her if I should leave Stewie upstairs with her or bring him back down. So, y'all, hang out for a bit. Catch up amongst each other, too, if you want, but I'm still going to be asking about how things have been going in the last 3 months with you guys once I get back. Okie doke? See you in a bit. And Namek. Hello. So I got my water. I took some chugs. Made sure to empty the tank. Water good. Alcohol also good. Okay, so doopity doop. So they had the wedding goes quite well. One thing that I was a little perturbed about at the wedding was two things. So after we cut the cake, the caterer was supposed to come around and pass out the pieces and whatnot. They were nowhere to be found. The bride and I, the groom, had to go to the back and be like, guys, are we getting the cake or what? And then also during the matron of honor's speech, well, let me give you a bit of a background here. We both had two people on each side. There was on my side my cousin. I had two cousins, actually, two of which I spent and grew up with, and whom I would consider brothers or super cousins, right? So they were, I called them both my best men, because you're all on my side. Because on the bride's side, she actually took my sister as a maid of honor, because my wife's best friend was to be the matron of honor. So apparently there's a difference. There's maid of honor who is not married and matron of honor who is married. Like, oh, great, that means I get two best men. But then if I count the ring bearer, it's my 2.5 best men. And we all matched too on our suits. So yes, that was that was great. So the matron of honor is like kind of the only person, you know, like when you look at the party, it tends to be like people from the groom's side of life and people from the bride's side of life coming together. The matron of honor was essentially like the only real representation from the bride's side in the wedding party. So when it was during her speech, there was this light in the atrium that just made this loud buzzing sound, and it would not stop. We couldn't find out how to stop it. I was quite perturbed by it because, like, according to the atrium, or according to Sate's like event people, because our coordinator called them, be like, "There's this buzzing going on. What the fuck is this?" "Oh yeah, that goes off every now and then. We don't know how to stop it. We have no idea what the problem is." And I'm like, "You didn't think to tell us about this?" I was quite pissed off about it. We still haven't gotten a response about that shit yet either. We emailed them. I gotta ask the wife about that, actually. Like, did we get a response yet? So it was right in the middle of the matron of honor's speech, and I kind of found that it was like, this was the worst fucking time this could have gone off, because she was getting into, it was getting emotional, obviously, like as these speeches do. Furium, hey, long time no see, because I've been on hiatus. How you doing? Welcome on in to the newly moved island. Where's Stewie? Yeah, he's somewhere that the camera can't see him. How dare you? Well, I have some adjusting to do at another time. I'm just going over what I was doing in the last 3 months on my hiatus, Ethereum. I hope you're doing well. It's completed Star Revenge 5.5. Oh, Super Mario 64 ROM hack. What is Star Revenge 5.5? What is Star Revenge, period? Does it just make new levels or whatnot? Or does it just apply new challenges to the old design? Meanwhile, so I'll tell you guys about this one. We had a Simpsons themed wedding. Now, it wasn't cartoony and shit. We picked and chose what we would make Simpsons. The biggest thing is that we just took the colors of yellow and blue. So the wife had like a white dress, but like a lot of some blue accents, especially her shoe stuff on her. I had a gray suit, but I had yellow accents around, and I had a navy blue vest, which was just a nice color balance, really, about the whole thing. Yeah, it's a series of ROM hacks for N64 with new levels. Oh, interesting. So that's one thing. That was one aspect of it. Another aspect of it that Simpsons was in is that we not only did we number the tables, but we named the tables too after Springfield locations in The Simpsons. Although one of the funny ones was in the very back, like the furthest away tables, we named one of them Shelbyville, because, you know, the furthest thing from Springfield. What else? A lot of signage and pamphlets and stuff like that were all Simpsons themed to them a bit. And the cake was probably the most cartoony looking thing, because it was a bright blue covering, so it was the sky, but then it had like little white icing on it to simulate clouds, and donuts, like pink sprinkled donuts on it. It was very cute. If you got do I have pictures of it? I might be able to find pictures of it to show you guys, actually. Might be a little bit later. Yeah, what else? First dance. You know, typically a couple will just do a nice slow dance and I'll be their first dance, right? The wife wanted to do a dance number to shut up and dance with me. So I was like, oh, okay, it's your wedding. I'll try my best. But we have to practice. I told her, like, we have to practice. We never practiced a dance routine at all. And we were still doing it. I was like, and then she said, because we had to walk up and start doing it, she's like, I'll follow your lead. I'm like, what? Suddenly I'm the one in control of this? But I pulled it off. It felt like it was clunky as fucking hell, but it was also like I tried to make it fun, because we didn't dance on the dance floor. We danced down like in and around the tables, because we made sure there was a ton of space and there was a hallway as well. And so we danced down the hallway and back again. And thank God for two of the flower girls. They got up and started dancing. So that was my cue to go over and pull them into the dance. And then I started getting people up to start dancing with us. So I was just like, oh, thank God. I don't have to do I just don't have to do a proper dance anymore. Now we're all just dancing together on the tail end of this song. It's perfect. It's great. It's exactly what she wanted to. I think it turned out being exactly what she wanted, just not the way we would have practiced or anticipated. So that was a fun little bit. And the end of my list here is that I'm still unpacking, as you can see. That's a window that I had to block because sun would come in. I've ordered blinds, and they're gonna come in later, sometime over the weekend. I gotta get a new excuse me. I gotta get used to talking more again. I gotta build up the strength of my voice. So, that's what my 3 months was filled with. How about you guys? What have you guys been up to for the past 3 months that's of note? We haven't spoken in so long, you guys. A lot of that comes from me not chatting on Discord. Although I tried. Breaking your body? First of all, don't do that. But what the heck happened, man? While you relay that story to me, I'm gonna see if I try again. While you relay that story, I'm gonna go and try and find some of these pictures. So I know somebody took a picture of the cake somewhere. Who did? I gotta find the people. I only look at people who I'm following. I don't want a full-on feed. Oh, I think this is mostly people I'm following. Okay, good. Saw that somebody took a picture of that cake, but I never did. Never did follow up. Where it ended up go? Or like who did it? Breaking Shiro. Oh, I'm glad you guys were getting together while I wasn't here. Not to toot my own horn, but I just finished streaming the Mass Effect series on Monday. Yeah, you were still, that's right, you were still doing it. So this past Monday you finished it, eh? Nice. Of course, I jumped in every now and then to watch. And who knows, maybe we'll collaborate on Wonderlands. We'll have to see. Leading up to Borderlands 4. At the very least. Damn, we gotta play Borderlands 4. Wonderlands next Friday, maybe? Oh. Yeah, we'll have to. Let's keep in touch about that. Let me make sure. Yeah, Borderlands 4 got pushed up to September 12th. I think the original release date was October? Something? You grabbed Shiro wrong, you guess. I probably was playing Thousand Year Door at the time. I still need to continue playing it. Ah, nice. Okay, but like, what did you do? What did you do, Zero? Oh. More pictures here. Well, that's one way of looking at it. Okay, I guess I don't look as much of a dork as I thought. Oh. Okay, no, I'm getting distracted by all these nice photos that I haven't seen yet. Seriously, who took a... Where's that picture of the cake, man? Come on. Cake. Cake, where are you, Cake? Oh, I should have paid more attention about who had that picture of the cake. I wonder if our coordinator took a picture of it. Hold on. I should tore a few tendons in your hand while running. We back? Yeah, I was restarting. I don't have the overloading message anymore. And honestly, oh yeah, shit. I would say refresh. remix, refresh, remix, refresh. Anywho. Go. Yeah, so when I shut down OBS, it was also choking up there. So I think it was on my side mostly. Although by the sounds of it, Twitch itself is not that great today. Regardless, hi, welcome back. I'm sure y'all are back here. Although some of you are probably going through pre-rolls, so I'm just gonna wait for a little bit to continue. I also shared the photo I took of the artist in your Discord. Really? Oh, the singer. I see. You know, this is a good opportunity to take a quick look. Wait, is this the actual photo that you took? Oh, she was like right there. Fun. But she also looks like when those corgis get like goggles on when they go into motorcycles or car rides or something like that. That's cool. All right. Let's continue on here. So yeah, that was cousin of the family friend. I love the kids. Expression here. Got a little hell spawn here. Family friend, cousin and husband and kids. This one, by the way, oh my god, she's so funny. She's so cute. So like, I went over to my aunt's place, and she was babysitting her to pick up some items for the wedding beforehand, and like, she's just got an attitude. And I'm like, oh my god, you are your mother. You are your mother, because your mother had this kind of attitude too. Respectful, but also just like, in your face. Huh. This is, let's see. So this couple here, it's these two. So there's this guy, that's the wife, and these are the wife's father and mother. And I call her a cousin. Oh, okay. Part of the cousin, her partner, unmarried currently. Oh, who did this? Blood cousins. They're brother and sister. But I used to hang out with these two down in Florida quite a bit. They came from Florida, actually. When I say came from Florida, I mean they currently live in Florida, but you know, they're born elsewhere. Matron of honor and her daughter, who was the junior bridesmaid. I know, right? This totally speaks to them. My god, seeing her all grown up, god, you make me feel old. Because they're quite younger than I am. Let's put it this way. When I turned 13, her dad shares the same birthday as me, and we're blood cousins too. Their dad, when I turned 13, he was turning 31. So we were spending some time down where they were living in San Francisco area, and I had her. So I'm 13, and I had her up on my shoulders. Okay. Like, she had to have been 1, maybe 2 years old. And I was bouncing her around, and she threw up on my head. This one right here. This one threw up on my head. She's like an adult now. And you still invited her to the wedding. Right. Blood cousins sounds more like they were summoned by an unholy ritual. I need cousins! A very sad part about the guest list for this wedding, unfortunately, is that I actually had to not invite. I have a gigantic blood-related cousin group. but I also have a gigantic cousin group that I grew up with in Calgary. So they were like the local cousin group is obviously the one I wanted to invite the most around. I'm the closest to them. But whenever I get together with like blood family, it's always a good time. And we always have good fun. But I had to just skip on inviting some because it would be expensive, like further expensive, if I invited everybody. Now, the thing with these two, I was only trying to stick to just direct cousins. Second cousins, it was very unfortunate, but I had to go, sorry guys, no room. But then my mom had actually, these guys are second cousins, and my mom had actually requested if we could invite them because she's pretty close with them, and I was like, okay, I can do that. And it's not to say I'm close with. Close is a weird word. It feels like I'm close with them because like I always hang out, like whenever we see each other, it's like we've been hanging out forever, right? I would say that's a kind of closeness with distance. That's just the culture of our it's the culture of our ethnicity as well. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. Matron of Honor and her daughter. Hold up. Like, wrong about. I'm a bit confused now. I think this is the cousin that I thought was here. Oh, I know. Okay. I screwed this up. Okay. Okay. This is why I was confused. This is a different cousin. This is actually brother and sister. I have no fucking idea who is it. This is actually probably. Go back quick. Oh my god, how far back are we going here? Maybe if I look down here. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's this girl. So this girl, this is her parents and sister here. And this is a cousin. So she just snuck her way into this photo. There we go. I figured it out. Guys, I figured it out. Fuck me, I figured it out. It's that girl, isn't it? She just wanted to be in another photo. I think so. She's kind of like that. Okay, so then this is a cousin, sister, and their parents. Okay, so this is the nuclear family here. Got it. Which means, and the reason why I figured that out is because this is who I thought they were. So this is the cousin, the husband, their kids. I suppose it is very exciting for a kid, especially when they're simplified. Some colleagues of the bride. I think that's a family friend and her grandson. This is a second cousin and his girlfriend. New killer family. These are some work colleagues of, you know what's really funny? So I instantly knew who these were. These are some work colleagues of the wife. And it's funny because I've actually seen them wearing these at other events from Vancouver. So I kind of found it funny. It's like, hey, you guys are on model. Local cousin. Wait, they got another Simpsons photo? Huh, they got a Simpsons photo earlier, but once again, this is a flower girl here. Here are my two best men with the DJ. This looks like them so much. Like, this looks like them so much. It's hilarious. Oh, funny story about this lady. Definitely inspired by the flower girl from another photo. Okay, funny story about this lady. So this is a colleague of the wife's, right? She works in immigration just like the wife does, and eventually the wife told this colleague that she's dating a guy from his heritage is Guyana, and she's like, "What? No, didn't you know I'm from Guyana too?" She is from Guyana. So I'm like, oh, small world. So I've met her before, I've spoken with her before, that's fun. And then so obviously she got invited to the wedding as well. And she met with my mom, who is from Guyana as well. So obviously a lot of the aunts and uncles, they're all from Guyana. There's a lot of people who are from Guyana, the country, at this wedding. So, you know, you're gonna find people who are from Guyana. It's just, that was a very fun coincidence that she's not related to anybody at this wedding, right? So she found my mom, she started speaking with her. And turns out, so in Guyana, near the main city of Georgetown, there is a section of Georgetown. It's an island, but it has like a population of about 100 people on the island, which is all part of the Georgetown area, right? And it's called Legwan. My mom was born and raised on this Legwan island, and this woman was also from Legwan, just on a different side. So like, still, out of 100 people, she still like ended up, you know, up in Canada and in Vancouver, and met somebody who got related and brought over here. So I was like, oh. Suddenly, the odds get way wider. Well, like I said, it's only got 100 people, but it's still part of the Georgetown city. But, like, you know, it's rare enough to find other Guyanese people, but there's enough Guyanese people out in the world that it can happen reasonably, right? But it's really actually something when you find somebody from the exact same... It's like saying it's from the same neighborhood, really. But like in a completely different country. Many, many, many years or decades later. They never knew each other growing up. But it's just like small world. Aunt and uncle. Cousin and partner. The guy's the cousin. Blood cousin. This is a guy who, when I have my glasses on and he has his glasses on and we have like same length hair kind of thing, we look so similar, actually. You would think that he's my brother. Or, well, he's much older than I am, so probably father. Cousin and her kids. This one here, this kid here, we don't often have kids at weddings, so we did have kids at this wedding. And she was telling us at an earlier time we got together before the wedding that this kid here was told that he could go pick out a suit and whatnot, and he's been getting into watching Family Feud, and he's saying that this is his Steve Harvey moment. So he picked this out. He's funny. I barely spoke with the guy and already he's funny. All right, let's see. Cousin and husband with their 2 kids. This is probably the whitest guy in the family, which is so funny. But like, I get to, you know, he also works in media too. So like, I really identify with him quite a bit whenever we get to talk. Let's see. Aunt, her husband, 2 cousins. So this is my cousin. He's much older than I am. Daughters. This guy at every wedding, in every event, he's always got these brightly colored suits and everything. He's always just like, it's not like he's an attention whore. He's not an attention whore, but he likes to have a good time and he shows it. Kind of fun. Huh. Here's the boss's family. Here's that boss family again. Huh. Friends of the family. This is our coordinator. Did the coordinator's assistant change clothes? Huh. That's so funny, Jiro. I think he made me choke a little bit there. My cousin, her husband from Minnesota. He used to live in Winnipeg, but she moved down to Minnesota. And then we had, I love how this photo makes it look like they have gold teeth. And I look like just Santa Claus before his hair turned white. But yeah, this is the wedding party. So, you know, the wife, me, my two groomsmen. This is my sister, the maid of honor. This is the matron of honor. This is the matron of honor's daughter, the junior bridesmaid. Man, now that I think about it, we should have brought in the junior. We should have brought in the ring bearer here, but he was difficult to wrangle. So, you know, the wife and the... this must be my sister over here. Oh, yeah, and I love this photo. This, I think, is the best Simpsonified version of us. Like, it's just... We're cute. We're hot. This is just perfect for me. I love how this turned out. Despite the fact that it took mostly my gray hairs and put it all over the place. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And this is why I hate AI. You think I'm old, AI. Fuck you too.
You suck, McBain!
We got this up on our fridge, and I think we're gonna frame it too. We have two photos. And this is that one that was at the front here. So, you know, the best men, me, sister, Honor, daughter. This one didn't turn out that great. This one was better. Actually, see, when it's got a lot of people in it, I think it really screws up. The AI really screws up. It doesn't make things nearly as good as, like, say, when there's two people here. This is really good, but then it was also adjusted and fixed by two people within about a 15 to 60 minute span, 15 to 20 minute span or so. Yeah, those are all the Simpsonified things, and then we had like photo booths and stuff like that. And at some point, I'm going to find that cake photo, and I'll share it on the Discord with you guys. Well, that is how things work out. Now, we've reached the end of stream. However, we need to take care of something. And that is, what the heck am I playing tomorrow? So, one thing's for sure. This might answer that question, actually. So, we were just chatting with Shirtless Dan about maybe starting some Tiny Tina's Wonderland Friday. Play the new Oblivion remaster? That's going to take way too much time, though. You play Phasmo? I do have Phasmo. Oh, no. Phasmo, though, to be honest. Barbie Horse Adventure? Sold. Oh, did I just close? I completely inadvertently closed I totally turned off. I completely turned off Spotify and didn't realize it. I meant to minimize, not close. So, I've been debating between. I've been wanting to try Schedule 1. If you guys remember if you guys know what Schedule 1 is, somebody mentioned Blueprints, but if I recall correctly, that's a game I don't really care for. If I recall correctly, I haven't really looked it up, so I'm gonna look it up now. So yeah, I'm thinking of playing Schedule 1, maybe. On days that I wouldn't be playing with Dan on Wonderland. Gumbo was playing Blueprints. Duff Brand Meth. I just might. Where dawn reveals a new mystery, navigate through shifting corridors and ever-changing chambers in the genre-defying. Oh, it's a strategy puzzle adventure. I'm good. No, thank you. And then there's that Claire Obscure game. I think. Wait, Claire Obscure. What's Claire Obscure again? Was that the Expedition 33? Yeah, that's gonna take way too long. That's gonna take way too long, and I've seen people playing it. And I'm like, I don't know if I like the vibe of this right now. Not enough to get into it at the moment. It was all right. Yeah, they're not really my thing. Dan, I might be up for playing Phasmo some other time for sure. What I'm thinking, and I'm leaning towards. I think I am going to try my hand. Then see, there's this other one too. It's called Death. Oh, what was it? Death Run Rogue? Shit. Get the name of it. Uno momento. I'm gonna pull up something. Dead Zone Rogue. This is something else I've been considering playing. Which is like, it's a roguelite FPS set in deep space. Okay, stream's over. I'm leaving. Bye. Hi, Ace. Sup? I'm currently going through what to try and play tomorrow and for a couple days, but the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, the more I do want to start playing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands with Shirtless Dan. But then what am I... that's going to be like next Friday. So like, what do I do on this coming Friday? And then Sunday, then Monday, then Thursday. Oh god, you really went gray in the past few months. Or is that just a haircut? It is a haircut that reveals my grays more. So when my hair grows out, you don't see as many grays. But I would also believe that maybe I have gotten more grays over the past 3 months because, you know, moving, wedding, what have you, work. I was saying I can't wait until May because I don't have to plan a wedding. Wedding's over. I've moved to the house, so it's all just unpacking at a leisurely pace now. At least I would like it to be leisurely pace, but somebody else wants to get everything unpacked immediately now. I thought it was different, but I thought you just looked more fit. I probably look thinner because of the haircut. That's really it. The impending collapse of Western society. Well, not up north. I'll tell you what, your president definitely won an election for the Liberal government in Canada. Because nobody wanted anything to do with Trump and the Conservative Party up here. So, sorry, but also thanks. Yeah, patriotism, yes. I still feel like, considering what was at stake, we really should have had more liberal votes. There should have been a majority government. And I'm very upset that I am in conservative territory. I kid you not, my entire province went all conservative except for 3 ridings. I don't like it. I like the results countrywide. I don't like the results here in this province. I'm gonna have to try and fix that. I'm here, guys. I'm here to fix it. Just gotta fix everything. Yep. Moved to Alberta. Now, mind you, moving to conservative surrounding Alberta is not the same as moving to conservative surrounding, say, Alabama, Nebraska, Mississippi, what have you, southern states. Because down there it is like, it's just cultish down there. At least we don't have the cult up here. I can at least... The thing is that I have family here, so I know that a lot of them are not MAGA brained, although I did find out some of them do vote conservative. I'm like, ew. I still like you, but that's something that I kind of have to put out of my mind until it becomes a problem. It hasn't been a problem yet. Granted, I've only been here for about a month and a half. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to play. And right now it's between this game, Dead Zone Rogue, which is a roguelike FPS, or Schedule 1. You guys think you'd enjoy watching some Schedule 1? The concept is fun, and it's also a game that, like, I won't feel bad putting down once I have to move on to other stuff. I do have For the King, actually. It might hit the fan with my mom visiting soon. Oh boy. Family trouble's not good. Schedule 1's pretty fun. I've watched Kitty and Tash play a good bit of it. And I'm watching Jacksepticeye play it too. Yeah, see, so let me bring you guys into my mind as to why I'm considering these games. Is that they do look like they're fun. Dead Zone, I'm very iffy about, but the thing is here is that in this new era of me streaming right now, considering I might have to make it a little more full, possibly, I have to start playing games that are hot at the time. So partially have to invest in the game. Like, I have to actually purchase the game. I also need to play games that maybe I wouldn't typically play, but would actually attract more people. I am, this time around, gonna try to make a bit more of an effort to grow the stream. Which might also include another Nuzlocke, perhaps. Oof, I could play Balatro. I could. That game looks like it's just... Here's the thing. If I play Balatro, it would have to be a guaranteed pull. So, like, maybe if I'm streaming in the middle of the day instead of typically, I might play Balatro. Because there might be... I think a lot of people enjoy watching people playing it for the first time, perhaps. I honestly do not understand why Balatro is so popular. If somebody wants to explain that to me, go for it. But I don't get it. But I also understand that I just don't get the game. I've mentioned this to everybody else, but I got something going on in my throat, so occasionally I'll be hacking, horking, and muting the mic. Gambling puzzles with big numbers. Number go up. Is that really why it's so popular though? Man, I'm getting old. I just don't. I just don't. It's actually a strategy game under the hood. As I figured. Well, Ultra might have to be one of those games. What is it cost right now? By the way, Dan, I just remember that you gifted me Wonderland. So you know what? We're definitely doing it next Friday. But let's talk about time. Let's talk about timing. Over Discord. Let's see, how much is it? It is 18 bucks. Will you backseat me? Oh, maybe, but that's gonna have to be. I think I need to establish a bit. I have to reestablish my routine a bit more before we get into that. This also feels like it's a game that I'm going to have to buy and play a little bit beforehand before I do it on stream. Unless watching me fluster through it on stream is to your guys' liking, which, if it is, you let me know. You let me know. So yeah, so far, Schedule 1, Dead Zone, and Balatro seem to be some of the hot games right now that I'm willing to play. I don't want to play Expedition 33 because I know that it's hot, but I also know that it's a game that I'm not going to feel good putting down in the middle of it. I want to start playing a game that, like, if I just end up abandoning the game, I don't feel bad about it. And not because I hate the game, but like because something else comes along that I really want to try. So a little bit of some backseating Balatro might be interesting. Something to consider. You can play Monhun, but that has the dropping issue? Oh, you're talking about Monster Hunter. I do like Monster Hunter. I don't think it's hot enough for me to play right now, and it is also a game that would take up a bit too much time. Yeah, if I dropped it, I would feel pretty bad. Granted, I did drop Monster Hunter World, and too bad about that. Tell you what, actually. I think I'm going for some Schedule 1. When I end the stream tonight, I'm gonna purchase it, I'm gonna install it, and then throughout the day tomorrow, I'm gonna set up the screen for it. His attorney tends to pull in a crowd regardless of timing. Okay, that's interesting. We have do we have Ace Attorneys on the computer, or would I have to like hook up the Switch? Yeah. Anyways, guys, I am gonna have to call it a night now. It is already past 9 o'clock, my time, and I gotta go help the secret wife. I gotta go help her get our storage room in order, at least for another hour. Also, I'm just tired. Oh yeah, you can get all the games on PC now, save for a few spin-offs. Okay, I might think about that. Although, in all honesty, Ace Attorney's not, from what I've seen, not typically my kind of game. I'm going to do some research on it and see if it is. I'm not calling it a bad game. Just not a game that I care to play currently. At least Schedule 1, there's some nice freedom, and there's I think Schedule 1 would be a game that I'm into because, like, it's the whole... It is kind of a survival game. In the sense of, like, you gotta make sure this is going on, that's going on, etc. So I still, mind you, I still love all the suggestions, and they still might make it into the rotation. I think tomorrow will be schedule 1. We're gonna do that. We're gonna see how that goes. There's an opportunity to play Gungeon since the sequel just got announced. How about Gungeon? See, this is that case of too many games, not enough time. Too many games, not enough time. I can finally play Gungeon. I'll tell you what, if I'm unemployed by the end of May, I might have all the time in the world to play those games. Not gonna lie. Let's see. And download. Oh, that's the free sample. No, I'll buy it. I've seen enough of it that I'll buy it. And so on. Anyways, I'm not gonna reveal my purchase information to anybody. Let's see if this still works, if I remember the routine. Thanks, y'all, for stopping by. And coming out and saying hi. Hey, Deathicus. Thought you were hanging out there, but well, maybe y'all could help me sell some drugs. Guess it could wait till next time too. Oh, I have a personal announcement. Oh, go on. Say it. Speak your truth. I didn't catch that, but speak your truth. I want to hear that. I'll tell you what, while you're typing that out, I am going to say, if you're new here and you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that follow button. It is free after all. And you can also find me on all the other socials, like... Whoa. Yeah, no, I'm not on Twitter anymore. I mean, I'm there, but I'm not using it. But there's also Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, Threads, and my Discord as well. I'm going to see if I could pop more stuff into Discord at a certain point here. See how that goes. You have officially legally changed your name. Interesting. Are you still living where you were like 3 months ago, or did you move states at all? I know that you don't live like super close to your family, but they're just a car ride away, right? Now, might I ask, was there any negative connotation with your original name? I'm so curious how this came about, actually. Or if you'd rather... Yep, family mostly doesn't know yet. Oh, fair enough. And did you change your last name too? Was it kind of the distance from the last name? Also, Ace, feel free to put this into like celebrating excellence on the Discord. What's the channel I call it again? Yeah, Celebrate Excellence, which is basically just, you know, chat about like great things that happened in your life. If you want to go into deeper detail. Okay, so did you change your first name too? Or was it just like you kept your first name, you've changed your last name? That's the actual name you changed. Is that how that is? Or did you just go wholesale? Wholesale. He's a whole new person! Alright. Meanwhile, who am I going to riggedy raid? Somebody's playing Sekiro, somebody's playing Mario Kart, Boyfriend Dungeon. What's this retro? Enigma? I remember hearing that name, but I've never actually seen that game. Ricky Funky Funballs, Gator Kings. Ooh, I haven't seen this game in a while. Oh, you're gone to she-they. Okay. Okay. That's actually very important that you mentioned that, because I'm going to have to remember that. But I need something from you. if I dead gender you by accident, please don't be insufferable about it. I need time. Okay, girlfriend? Give me time. I'm an old man. My brain doesn't accept change nearly as fast. No, that's Ace, that is a huge problem. It's not a huge problem. I have no issue with people being identified how they want to be identified. I have no issue with people asking people to identify them as that. Where I do have issue is when these people get insufferable when you make an honest mistake. Which I can understand from their perspective. They've been called the wrong thing all their life and it's triggering and whatnot. But it's like, listen, you're an adult. You're an adult enough that you changed your pronouns officially as you want, and we will call you that. Now, if I call you that by accident and not purposely to harm you in any way, please don't scream at me. Okay? Okay? I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just... Well, it takes time for anybody. It takes time for anybody to readjust their alignment in their brains, you know? Anyways, I'm sorry that became a rant. I'm sorry that became a rant. It just annoys me. It annoys me because I think I get pissed off more at the people on my side of the political spectrum acting like dickbags than people on the opposite side of the political spectrum acting like dickbags, because I'm expecting it from the opposite side. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's, you know, it's a good thing you said that, because it does bring up the good point of, like, we'll see that in jest, and I think we're going to have some fun with that, because honestly, you are great at scathing commentary. All right, I'm going to take you guys... Oh, that's not... Oh, place like that. Okay, right, it's that game. No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you guys over to Generic Mana, who's currently playing a game called Mega Man X Command Mission. I have not seen... I own this game. I haven't seen this game in years, decades even. It's a Mega Man JRPG game, but it had a really interesting... I think it had a really interesting system to it. I'll let Mana explain it more to you guys. Let's see. We're going to start raiding Generic Mana. We're going to bring up the old raid message there, as I cough into everybody's ears and all that fun stuff. Y'all, it's been a great time back. Thanks for coming out. I hope I see you guys around. And starting tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, I'm going to start playing some Schedule 1. That could be some fun. That could be some good fun. Until next time, guys, y'all have a good rest of your night. I will catch you tomorrow. And until then, remember to keep the party going. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.